Well, Lance, welcome back at a Mayor's Monday here at WSAU, WSAU.com. Again, of course, you're not the mayor, but you're hired by the county board. The county board is voted on by the people, so the people can get you out if they vote the right people onto the county board. That's how we get
Or
around
the
that.
wrong people. No, I think
Exactly.
I really try to carry out the will of the board, but you have it absolutely right. Not a mayor,
Hmm.
county administrator. I serve at the pleasure of the county board.
Hmm. Indeed. And I guess first off, for those that are regular viewers, you're going to notice we're coming to you from a bit of a different location.
Indeed.
Obviously, the we've talked about this quite a bit over the last couple of years. The county trying to consolidate its footprint, uh, fewer roofs to take care of. So we are here at the Lakeview Drive campus. How long have you been here at this location and not at the
Quiz
courthouse?
question. Well, I still hold office hours at the courthouse. That's one of our primary campuses. Really, to your point, trying to
Hmm.
consolidate fewer roofs, fewer parking lots, fewer boilers, all the things that cost all the money that um, we need to be good stewards of the tax dollar. But we've been here now for it's about 4 months. Moved a lot of departments off of River Drive and a couple out of the courthouse to really create that one of our two primary campuses between the courthouse and this building, this campus here at Lakeview.
Hmm.
We certainly still have other buildings, but
Of course.
things like the library, the forensic science center, the highway department, but
Hmm.
certainly a lot fewer buildings with moving off of River Drive and Thomas Street.
Yeah, even you mentioned the Thomas Street, the credit union branch there. I've driven by there a few times and been, wait a minute, when did that close? That was another one.
Well, the credit union hasn't closed yet. We're working with them to find a long term home for them. But redevelopment of that Thomas Street location certainly a top priority for us moving forward. I hope to have some draft requests for proposals for that facility as well as our River Drive properties to the county board, specifically the Human Resources, Finance, and Property Committee before the end of the year so that we can get some direction on what that future redevelopment looks like. Because it's not just, the end game isn't just to have those buildings vacant. It's the end game is really to redevelop those in a way that serves the public and also, again, talking about the tax dollar, the more we can be good stewards and redevelop those properties, increase taxable value, that helps all taxpayers.
Yeah, it certainly does. And again, it's you mentioned that it's riverfront property.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love riverfront property these days? Because well, first off, they don't make any more land, obviously. Again, from to state the obvious, but they also don't make a whole lot of land that's riverfront or right there waterfront because that seems to be the most valuable. And we've seen what the city of Wausau is doing. If you can add another stretch to that near downtown, I think that's obviously a win for everybody.
Absolutely. And I think that was the leadership of the county board to see that opportunity that we have with our existing facilities and how we can kind of look at things differently. So credit again to the county board of really looking at how do we think more long-term, think about not our facilities as individual standalone facilities, but look at the portfolio of facilities that we have and how we can revision what those look like to ultimately divest those properties that have a lot of potential.
Hmm. And again, for those that need ideas, Lance and I will say this until we're blue in the face. We have never been disappointed by a pizza and a beer, right?
Well, that's right. I think if you're looking for redevelopment opportunities along River Drive, that's a perfect place. I was just up in Door County, and they do a really nice job of getting people to that waterfront to make it a real draw, walkable. So a lot of options for both us to work with the city of Wausau, but all municipalities to make sure that we're developing property in the highest and best way possible.
Because if that tax dollar comes in, that's tax money that can then be spent in Hamburg, Berlin, to fix highways up there,
Yeah.
right?
Whether it's property tax and it drives down the rate for everybody, or if it's sales tax, to your point, all comes back to benefit the Marathon County taxpayer.
Absolutely. So then that said, we should recap a new building for the county that just opened last week. I got the chance to see it firsthand, at least see what I could of it, of course, because the forensic science lab is not exactly a public-facing building. I think as State Senator Mary Felskowski said, you really don't know how important something like this is until you need it. And you need it at what is likely one of the worst times of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're really excited about the Forensic Science Center, and it was a long time coming, a task force that met for over 7 years to try to look at that challenge. And we're really excited to be the 8th facility in the state of Wisconsin, the only one in central Wisconsin. We're the only one. There's nothing between us and Lake Superior. So it's a real great asset for not only central Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin, upper Michigan, but really it's going to be an asset to the entire state of Wisconsin and perhaps broader than that, because it, to your point, hits on a couple of pieces. One, for law enforcement. It's really unfortunate if you're a law enforcement officer in Marathon County investigating a serious incident where you need to have an autopsy performed. You're working with our medical examiner's office and you're traveling perhaps all the way to Dane County, Milwaukee, Fond du Lac. What that means is you're out of your home community where you're providing those vital law enforcement services, and you're out of the community for a long time. Very inefficient. Similarly, you have families who are waiting for answers who might need to wait longer than certainly they would like to, but longer than we would like to have them wait. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, the facility is it's really a great partnership with our local education providers, whether that's North Central Technical College, because it's right adjacent to their campus, Medical College of Wisconsin, potentially the UW. There's a shortage of medical professionals across a whole slew of professions, whether it's EMTs, direct care medical with nurses, but certainly in the forensic pathology field. The national statistics are staggering. We were really fortunate. I was able to recruit 2 fantastic pathologists to come work at our facility, but there's a giant shortage around the country. So we hope to have the work we do, that really important work that people don't know is there, mm-hmm. have that work not only get done close to home in a way that's efficient for law enforcement, efficient and trauma-informed for families, but then also really hope to address the educational concerns that we have and the lack of workforce, all within a facility that, as you said, you walk through that facility, it is amazing. Mm-hmm. We're really fortunate. Our donors from the Community Foundation and the various foundations that were there, BA and Esther Greenheck, North Central Technical College, just to name a few, but then also credit to the state of Wisconsin, Governor Evers, all the representatives and senators that worked hard to get the building commission to allocate mm-hmm. $7 million to make that building possible. And even the federal government saw the value. Working with Senator Baldwin's office, we were able to get $2 million of directed spending. And then, of course, the Marathon County Board put a lot of energy, continued tax levy, and additional funding to really make that happen. So it really a team effort across the board.
Absolutely. So then when you had these conversations with whether it was Governor Evers' office or Senator Baldwin's office, how much convincing did it take to get that funding? Because obviously that was one of your biggest roles in all this, was making sure that we could get that $7 million and then get the matching funds to trigger it.
Sure. Certainly a lot of work. We have a great team here. I am so fortunate to have the team I have here at the county, not only within the medical examiner's office, who are real champions, but our MORG task force, and my communications director, my public information officer, Sarah Severson, is outstanding. When you put together the materials to demonstrate the need, those things carried the day. From the governor's office to all the representatives and senators, they understood the message. It didn't take much convincing. They understood the need. And they saw that really, when you look at the state of Wisconsin, if it's going to happen anywhere in north central Wisconsin, it's going to be Marathon County. We're a leader in a lot of things, and this is another area where we can lead. And by leading, we can help everybody else.
Mm-hmm. So when people drive by this facility, then what do you hope that they see?
Well, I hope they see the value of county government. I mean, this is a core county function, the medical examiner function. To your point, it's something that not everybody thinks about, but it's absolutely critical. I hope they see that. And then really importantly, I hope they see the vision and leadership of not only the Marathon County Board, but our state and federal leaders to make this happen. And really, really importantly, community leaders. North Central Technical College, BA and Esther Greenheck, all the foundations through the Community Foundation. This was truly a team effort, and I think you saw that on the grand opening, mm-hmm. All the people that were so excited to see that come to fruition. And I hope every day they see the hard work. You're not going to be able to see it, of course, but for the reasons you said, it's really a very private and rightfully so mm-hmm. Process that we go through. But our staff are going to go do the very important work that they've been doing for many, many years. But now they have a facility that really matches the quality of work that they've always done.
Last thing then before we let you go, speaking of facilities, you're looking to move the county highway department, the main location in Wausau. You're going to move that down to Cronenwetter. That we've kind of settled on. We learned last week there could be the potential for some, I guess you could say, partnership between the city of Wausau and the county to maybe repurpose that site or have the city take it over for its own public works site, which they've been asking for a new one. I've been here for 7 years and I feel like it's been that entire time. I know this is all relatively new, but give us an idea of where we're at with this and what this partnership could potentially, I'll emphasize potentially again, look like.
Well, I'll start with the relocation of the highway shop. Again, the county board has the vision to do that. They've authorized staff to go forward, and we have closed on all the properties to relocate it to a facility in Cronenwetter, but we're a long way from that being done. I mean, I want to emphasize that this isn't something that's going to happen next week. A lot of important work and a lot of decisions yet for the board to make. I mean, there are a lot of conversations about not only what does that look like in terms of planning. We have an RFP that was out for design. That's that first part. We're going to work to design that building. We need to also fund it. And I think we're in a good place with some of our reserves, specifically highway reserves, to be able to offset a lot of that cost. But I know that's a big decision for the county board to make, and it's their decision whether or not we ultimately relocate that highway department. Assuming those things do come to pass and we're able to relocate that facility, get that designed, built, and move into it. The real question then for the county board is, what do you do with that property on West Street? When that highway facility was built decades and decades and decades, nearly 100 years ago, it was on the edge of town. And it served us very well because it is right next to the highway, easy on and easy off the highway, which is really critical for the very important work that we do maintaining not only county highways, but I always tell people, Wisconsin's a unique state. You drive to Illinois, Colorado, you name it, you'll see state DOT vehicles that are out doing that work on state highways. Wisconsin's different. In Wisconsin, not only do county highway departments maintain county infrastructure, the state relies on us to maintain the state infrastructure. So we not only have the largest number of county highway lane miles in the state of Wisconsin, by a mile, pardon the pun, we have more than double the average of counties in the state. We have a lot of county highways. We also maintain really important state highways. So our location has served us very well, and location is truly important for the relocation of a highway shop. But what do you do with that facility moving forward? The highest and best use for that is really a question, again, for the county board. Certainly, I would envision part of that being a conversation between the elected leadership and the direction that they would give me of the county board, but working with the city of Wausau, because whether that is repurposed by the city for its own use as a public works department, or it's something that, that's a commercial corridor, that Rib Mountain Drive, there's a lot of important development that's happened over the last 10 years. So really important question. And for the county board, how do you fund that highway shop relocation, redeveloping that property, increasing taxable value, sales tax generation, all those things hopefully will be able to allow us to borrow less than, a highway facility. You might be looking at $55 million. I don't think anyone, certainly I want to do all I can to limit the amount that would need to be borrowed for that facility, and redevelopment might be an important tool to do that.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing how that conversation develops, because I know that's something that's still relatively new, but is something that the discussion is being had at the city level, you could say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did get just a call, I think it was last week, from Eric Lindman letting me know that might be an avenue we go. And certainly Marathon County, one of the things I always talk about with my team, and I know the county board appreciates, is that we really do try to partner effectively with our municipal partners. And certainly listening to the city of Wausau and considering their perspective, I know the county board will do that. Ultimately, whatever decision the county board provides, I'll do my best to carry that out in the most cost-effective and efficient way possible.
Absolutely. Well, Lance, we always appreciate the time. We'll look forward to chatting again in the future.
Absolutely. Can I end with one thing? Today, you talked about the highway.
Right. We did.
Highway shop. I would be remiss if I didn't provide a very public congratulations to Jim Griesbach, who is retiring from his service as the Marathon County Highway Commissioner after 35 years of service to the county, the last almost 20 as our Highway Commissioner. He's done an exceptional job.
Mm-hmm.
He's overseen a lot of important projects, technology, innovation in the way we do our work. But Jim is certainly moving into a very well-deserved retirement, and he's been a great advocate for not only our highway staff, but the safety of highway employees throughout the state of Wisconsin.
No doubt.
And I can't thank him enough for that, and it's been a true pleasure to work.
And I believe you actually went through the county's payroll records. You went so deep into the records that they were kept in a Rolodex, I believe. He's been on the payroll a lot longer than that.
He has. He started as a seasonal back in Marathon County in 1983, and he's been a very valued, exceptional employee throughout his tenure. Certainly going to miss him. He is certainly moving on to a very well-deserved retirement, and I appreciate everything he's done, and certainly the highway relocation of the highway shop and telling the story about why it's really critical to the operations and the needs of the county. Jim has done a great job.
Then he is actually going to get this winter off, though, right? Is that correct?
Well, we could always bring him back as a seasonal again.
I suppose.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
But yeah, all right. Well, again, we appreciate the time. We'll look forward to chatting again in the future.
Absolutely.